Thank you so much, Pocket. Yes, indeed. Folks, we're going to try our best to make this one maybe as entertaining as the last series, but it's going to be hard to do that. Jay, we waltz into this one. LAG yet to get a W. Optic Texas yet to have lost a series up to this point. Obviously, the bigger story right now is surrounding the boys on Texas. They're trying to get that #1 seed, my friend.
Yeah, they're just trying to go flawless. And so far, the way that they've been playing in this stage, it's basically been flawless Call of Duty. Right. The way that they made work of the LA Thieves in that last series was unbelievable. Because I was just thinking before that matchup even started that LA Thieves were one of the best teams, if not the best team in Hardpoint. They take care of both in that series pretty convincingly. So without question, Optic Texas are one of the top teams, if not the top team right now. So if you are the Guerrillas, this is a tall task ahead to try to get your very first win of this stage.
Yeah, it's been fun, from a outlooking standpoint. We oftentimes discuss about, who is the best team in the game. And right now, Optic Texas absolutely deserves to be in that conversation. But as we get ready for our opening Hardpoint, as we said, Texas trying to remain flawless. And Jay, they're also trying to remain flawless in Fortress Hardpoint. You saw all the recent dubs there. No map for them so far since this team on Fortress Hardpoint has been close. They have been 100-point clubbing teams left and right. It almost makes you wonder why LAG decided to let this map through.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, but you understand that LAG, they have been struggling in Hardpoint. The one that they've been finding some success on has been on some Fortress, so they're comfortable on this map. And with a guy like Joe Disease, who has the ability to go over that 30 kill mark, he was like, what, 38 and 15 last time he played this map versus Minnesota? So you got to shut that guy nice and early. Already Optic Texas finding good time off of that P1. They're able to flip those spawns. They're just flawless in Hardpoint right now. All throughout this stage, 5-0. They have not missed a beat in this mode.
Yeah, we have so many statistics when it comes down to Optic's Hardpoint. We'll see what LAG can elect to do. And with 5 seconds remaining over at P1, they forced their way toward the top side. And really we'll see what they can do with a bit of an advantage. I believe that's Assault who ends up taking down Dashy in the meantime. So that will open things up. Now for the Guerrillas, the question remains, what can they do with it? Texas has been so solid when it comes down to their breaks, trying to make another one happen.
Yeah, and that's 3 surrounding the only player here, which is Assault. He at least finds to relieve some of that pressure. Allows for his teammates to get back into the play, but Optic, they get a couple scattered spawns. You're able to get that kill onto Hook, which secure those spawns over towards that P3. So you just want to try to fight this from the front. This has been a great response from the Guerrillas. Just keeping the trade stagnant. Winning a couple important gunfights here and there and just getting a lot of time off of this P2 Hardpoint. Optic still fighting for it. That's now going to put them late off that rotation over towards next. But they get those close middle spawns. Now the only player here is going to be Arcades. He at least finds one.
I was going to say, Jay, Arcades played this so disciplined with 35 seconds left. He actually decided to go for the rotation. LAG gets some awkward spots, and Shotzzy is making him pay for it. The #1 Hardpoint KD right now in Major 4 is off to a commanding start. 1 kill away from the Cruise, nearly makes it 6 in a row, but he has been excellent throughout our first few Hardpoints in this game. Texas managed to take over control, and like we said, man, it is such unfortunateness. If you are the Guerrillas, it looked like they did everything right there.
Yeah, the Guerrillas did everything right. Even RCD's rotating with 35 seconds. Just those spawns for Optic Texas towards the middle of the map. More bodies from their side to find that break with ease. And now they're just lighting up the kill feed. All green on the side of Optic. They find all 4 dead in the feed. Now it's time to be aggressive. Time to get out. Don't want to get put into this trap. There's 20 seconds left. Shotzi's going to try to dive out, but he eventually does get cut down. So if you are the Guerrillas, the way you get back into this game is by trapping them as long as you can towards the back of this Statue Hill. Relieving some of that pressure going in towards the next. And so far, they're doing a great job of doing so.
It feels like, too, man, kind of getting back to the conversation of Fortress Hardpoint in general, the reason why you're deciding to pick it, we know, right? It's never going to be an easy task versus this Texas team where it feels like the SMGs have just been unbelievable, essentially, since Ghosty arrived. But it could also be a play where if you are the Guerrillas, you're trying to showcase the investment, just the support that you have around your young SMG stars as well.
Yeah, that's a big thing. You want to make sure you're playing to the best of your ability on your best maps. And even with Optic Texas dominating on some Fortress Hardpoint as of recent, you still have the ability to square up with them because you know the presence of your SMGs will be felt. But that's going to be Optic Texas winning a couple gunfights, able to get him off of the time for now. Hook is a guy who's also been stepping up alongside Shotzzy. Like you said, both of those guys all throughout this stage have just been taking over. 1.19 for Hook, 1.17 for Shotzzy. They're actually top 5 in KD in this stage. The SMGs for Optic Texas are not messing around so far.
I want to ask you too, like, what do you feel like specifically around Hook? Like, what is it about this team now with Ghosty maybe just being under this Texas franchise? What is it about this team that you feel like seems to unlock Hook to getting back to those nuclear levels?
I don't really think it's the team. I think it's just the guy he's got to his right side, and that's Shotzzy. That dynamic duo was able to win a world championship together, so they know the tendencies of how they like to play, and they're both some of the fastest SMGs that we have in the game. So the fact that they're able to play in sync right next to each other every single time we watch these guys spawn in, that's just insane stuff. It's like a whole different Hook is unlocked when he's playing with Shotzzy, and he's been nothing but the best he could possibly be on this roster.
And I forget who tweeted it out as another lovely 3 down happens for Texas. They are just rolling right now with 20 seconds left over at the horse statue. But there was a stat that was tweeted out about how, like, whenever Hook and Shotzzy are playing together as a duo, I think there are a few franchises that have actually never taken them down when they're on the same team. One of those franchises happens to be LAG. So we're trying to break some records today. Vegas managed to do that. We'll see if LAG can too. But through the first set of rotations, Jay, not great if you are the Gorillas. Only upward can they go, it feels like, from here. But they're on a decent pace to at least not get 100-point club. Not many teams lately can say that versus Texas on this very hard point. But a lot of, I guess you could say, the future of this game resides on who is going to hold P2 spawns. Texas trying to make sure that those are in their favor. As Shotzzy drops, it is still a battle for them. LAG still with numbers on the left side of our screen.
And that's when you see Optic Texas leveling up their game. When this team was first formed, they weren't making plays like that. Shotzzy wasn't playing his life as long as he was in art back in the day. He makes it happen for his roster. Even though they don't find a lot of the time off of this P1, you got LAG now spread on their setup. You have to watch your flank, you have to hold art, and that's what's finding openings for Optic Texas to now flip these spawns over towards P2, thinking ahead. And now with only 10 seconds left on this P1 hardpoint, LAG have a tall task to try to break into this P2 hardpoint. They found some success last time around, but that's with Optic Texas not having those back spawns. So can they answer the call? Currently down by almost 50 points to find this break early.
Yeah, we'll see if they can manage to make it happen. And you know, we keep talking about the strength of Optic Texas's hardpoint. Obviously, it's been related to a lot of the SMG play, but it's also been to that human radar, right? When it comes down to Ghosty, the ability, what he's brought to this team, a guy who is more than happy to step aside, allow for his Slayers to go to work, and boy, have they a chance, as we said, for Texas to really start to stretch their legs a bit here on Fortress. One player has made it toward the back. That's Joe Deceives. Dashy cuts away him, also finds Assault at the same time. And from there, these last 25 seconds look very good to go the way of the green wall. LAG, a bit of a misstep last time around. We'll see if Fountain can go their way this time.
And that was a full 60 hold right there from Optic. You saw the amount of pressure that Shotzzy and Hook were putting on the map. They didn't even let the Gorillas get close towards open, close, because they were just cutting them down with that aggressive play from the SMGs. They find another 2 already off the rotation. 2 players here left for the Gorillas. Shotzzy, you gotta look down because Exceed was on his belly, but Exceed's at least able to find 2. Joe Deceives with the other, and they're able to maintain these spawns over towards P3.
Yeah, but you've got to be careful. However, they're locking things down well. Arseny's a big mid position, able to stay alive, which is probably the biggest part of that entire gunfight. Not only is he able to win it, but he's also able to stay alive for the moment. Gorillas still have a foothold in this game. There's no doubt about it. However, Texas still want to try and contest with 30 seconds to go. Let's go ahead and step aside and see how the LAG comms are sounding. Let's go duelist it.
One more I'm calling it out. I got 3. Alright, so gate weak. I'm getting out. Spawning bottom mark. I'm looking at it. Anyone spawning out? I think. I'm one shot. Get out. No, sidestep somewhere. Get out. I want secret. I can help you left. I can help you left.
3 are spawning out.
Going secret,
yeah.
That's one maps.
They could spawn out.
They spawned there.
No, he put trees. You stopped up.
In the back on me. There's 2 in the back. In the back.
Take our time.
There's 2 back.
P2, they double slam me.
There's 2 back. 2 steps. They hit me. That's right. Yeah, I did. Top single.
Good flank.
That's not him. That's not him.
Yo, Kyler flanked. I don't know. He's P5.
Top single.
He's going back there.
I'm waiting for you, Joe. Go top. They spawn gate behind me. Single weak.
I'm one shot.
Gate behind me, Data. Play kind of. They could be. I'll go to top rails.
P2 could be.
I spawn P2. I want P2.
We're not blocking P1.
Yeah, no, we're good. I'm holding it from rails. Look your bottom mark.
Bottom mark.
One side steps right now.
Top dub.
They were going single and shit.
Top dub, jumped up.
Kill him back door. Bottom mark right now. Bottom mark. Bottom mark. I got one. Cage just killed me. Close up.
Set up for new.
They're getting it. Top single fast. I got you. I'm playing map.
Well, it's a good check-in, or rather check-in with the LA Guerrillas. I mean, Jay, we were kind of going back and forth a bit through listening. I mean, it seems like this team very much so is composed. They are ready for this matchup, and it's also a huge series for them, all things considered, because Jay, a loss here would mark, I forget how many series that they've lost in a row, but it would also guarantee them to be in the lower bracket. So we're talking big games for Texas. They're trying to get the #1 seed. This is also a huge matchup for LAG. Still a chance for winner's bracket.
Still definitely a chance, but currently down by 70 points. You have to find some time off of this P5 hardpoint. Right now, Optic Texas, they're holding down every single crossfire. So RCD's and Assault are able to find two. They can get some of this time off of bottom maps. Just got to be able to read this one player and Ghosty, who's going to spawn behind them towards Anvil. He's ready for the pinch. Once again, they have to relieve that pressure. You have Joe Deceives, who's playing for those spawns. Flip, big couple of kills in towards Art. Exceed finds another. That's now going to be 3 dead. Optic are getting some stage spawns, so you have to be able to read it. If you are RCDs, he does not. And he runs right into Shotzi's gunfight.
Oh, God.
Now with only 5 seconds left on this Statue Hill. It's all about this P1, and Optic, they're already there.
They are indeed. So it's going to require a break. It's going to require rotation and just a lot of composure right now. If you're Guerrillas, RCD's able to piece a few. Definitely got some assistance there from the squad mate. So this is really the question on what do you do if you're the Guerrillas? As we said, so many things to balance, so many things to sort of keep in mind as all 4 will drop 10 more points before this game is done.
And Optic Texas, they know where they are coming from. LAG are getting the bad spawns towards double doors. You can allow your SMGs to free roam, get a couple extras, as Optic Texas are going to take map 1.
Take it in solid fashion. I mean, it wasn't a 100-point club, but it was still a solid hard point at that. Fortress remains perfect. It remains intact. And Jay, now in the recent stretch for Texas, it is 15-2 and their last 17 hard points. You can see the smiles are out. They have got all kinds of confidence in this game mode.
Yeah, Optic Texas are the best hardpoint team in the game. No question about it, man. The only map they usually tend to struggle on is Embassy. They're great at all 4 other hardpoints that we have in the CDL, as they are able to take the score 250 to 169 on this opening hardpoint. It's not the usual scoreline we see when Optic Texas plays some Fortress. Usually they're winning by 130, basically putting you in a 100-point club every single time. But LAG, they had some fight to them. The P3s, where I said that they needed to get some time off of it, they kept it scrappy at times, but they were able to secure a good chunk of time there to at least keep the scoreline a lot closer than it's supposed to be. But if you are Optic Texas right now in prime form in this game mode, you take care of business in hardpoint. Now up 1-0 in the series. Now you're going into a Mercado S&D where I think it's 50-50 when you're going up against the LA Guerrillas. They love themselves some Mercado as well.
Yeah, and I believe last time that we saw these teams face off against each other, Jay, was back at the very start of the Major 3 qualifiers. It was the very first match that Optic Texas actually had with Dan Ghosty in the lineup. I believe it was a Game 2 Mercado Search Destroy that we saw, and it was LAG who was able to take it. And I want to say, too, like, didn't Exceed, like, clutch out like a crazy, like a 1v3 or even 1v4 during that time?
Yeah, Exceed was hitting the routes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right there. Like, it had to be a 1v3. Because the way he was making plays, I remember that now. It's like him versus Shotzi. I'm pretty sure that's the first time we ever see Shotzi bring out the mid wall bang as well by Taco Truck over towards that B site. So it's all coming back to memory. It was a square up last time. It closed out to be a 6-4 in favor of the Guerrillas. And that was just simply on the playmaking of Exceed. So can he do it again to try to tie the series up at 1?
Yeah, and that's really what you're looking for, I think, Jay, when we talk about both these teams. Very much so in different spots right now. When we talk about the standings, just when we talk about mentality, I mean, you're arguably talking about a team, one of the best teams in the game versus a squad that's obviously right now in the bottom 4. If you are LAG, it feels like you're looking for players to be those guys, right? To be the playmakers, to be the engine to the roster. And oftentimes, man, it feels like it has been Exceed. Like you and I have had plenty of casts with this roster. It feels like ever since that the Academy team came into this lineup, there's been, you know, a number of different players who have had impacts, but impact that has actually led to series victories or map dubs. Like, I feel like Exceed has been that guy. I mean, like I said, it could be anybody, but I know lately in Search Destroy, he has struggled. So they're looking for him to definitely try and improve upon a 0.41 S&D KD right now going on in this stage.
Oh, 0.41 is not good. Not good, because of the opposite side for Optic Texas, they got the #1 guy in Search and Destroy so far throughout this stage, and that's Mr. Hook the Nuke. 2.3 in Search and Destroy. A lot of that is padded in that last series versus the Thieves, but he's just been out of his mind when it came to this mode. And if he's able to just continue the pressure that he has, LAG are going to have a tall task ahead. You see the numbers from both of the SMGs so far throughout Major 4 qualifiers. 1.17 for Shotzzy overall. 1.19 for Hook overall. That's top 5. Hook in Search and Destroy, 2.33. That's #1. 1.39 for Shotzzy. In Hardpoint, that's #1. In Control, they're doing what exactly they need to do. They got the ARs who are able to hold down lays, but if you want your SMGs to play anything like this, you're definitely going to have an opportunity to win some championships.
Absolutely, man. It's like Shotzzy's like, hey, I got your hard points, and Hook's like, cool, I got your SMGs. No worries,
no
guys.
problem.
No
What a
worries
duo.
at all. Quick little high five, and then you got Dashy, who's unbelievable, and as we said, Ghosty, who is the human radar, and oftentimes has some unbelievable clutch genes himself. But into the Mercado Search Destroy we go. Here you can see the records for both of our sides, and I don't know, Jay, if anything sticks out to you when it comes down to the records, but something that absolutely sticks off the page is that first blood percentage advantage that Texas have.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, that Optic Texas on this map are second overall in first bloods. But the biggest thing for me when I was looking at the numbers more in depth is that they find more first bloods on defense than they do on their attacking routes. 63% of the time they're getting that first blood on defense, 52% of the time on their attacking rounds. And you just think about it, like usually on your attacks, you're getting pre-nades. You're throwing everything over towards that Cantina side. And already they don't find that first blood on this round. And that's going to be 2v4 situation, all left up to the SMGs early on.
Yeah, the ARs pretty much get picked in the middle of the map or inside of the parking lot. Meanwhile, Teehee inside of Texas, or rather for Texas, inside of 10 they go. And now it's time for LAG to retake. Thankfully, though, they've got numbers. Hook, meanwhile, actually got dead silence. Arseny's the lovely crack of the whip now brings it into a 1v4. Hook still alive, still a chance. 25 seconds to go. A bomb that he has to try to hold on to. That's 2. Can he make it 2 more? Tosses in a nade, gives it his all, but good God, he took 3 players to the grave with him.
Oh, he was moving, man. I thought Hook had an ability to clutch that round, but just too many bodies on the side of the Gorillas and not that much ammo in the Vaznet to find all the kills. As he's able to find 3, but the Gorillas are able to stop the clutch from happening. RCDs finds that first blood with the snipe, lines up the second kill onto Shotzzy with a great angle from top 10. And then eventually they're able to take down Hook, what was almost a very, very close round. Such a nail-biter round, but they get it done. LAG 1-0.
I don't even know how to describe that last round, Jay. It's like you're trying to catch like a squirrel or something. Like you just can't get your hands on the guy. Incredible stuff. Arseny's throwing out a few more snipes again to kick off this round. As we know, Mercado all about the attack, but a 60-40 win percentage so far in the season, favoring the teams with the bomb in their hands. LAG, we know they love to get that bomb down, and oftentimes it is going to be. And Joe deceives his hands. Lovely snipes again here for Arseny's, takes Bruce out of the round, and once more, LAG have numbers.
So now in a 3v4 situation, you have Hookah's going on the super flank, but he falls right into the hands of Assault. 2v4 already. And RCDs picks up the info where the last 2 players are coming from, so they're ready for the gunfights. As C's takes down Shotzzy, all left up to Ghosty in a 1v4. Picks up the snipe. You know this round's basically done as RCDs hits the jump shot to close it out. Gorillas 2-0 so far in this Search and Destroy.
And see RC's face? He's like, get off me. Like, what are you trying to do right now? You trying to contest me with the snipe? Not gonna happen. Lovely work here from Alec. Oh boy, a 4-1 start for the captain of this Gorillas team. We talk so often, the spotlight is without question on this man. First season away from FaZe, trying to bring the boys back, and starts with series like this, as we talked about it right now in the bottom 4, trying to catch Las Vegas Legion, who are obviously off of a victory. So that makes this series that much more important. That's that much more influential here for the Gorillas. But the 2-0 start, we'll see if they can make it 3 as Texas once more take attack.
All out aggression towards A. Not gonna hesitate on this bomb plan as well. So they're gonna be ready for the pressure to come from every single angle. They have a lot of time to work with. 4v4 in a retake. If you are Arseny's, Currently on a 4-speed, probably want to take your time in this push, wait for your teammates to try to be the aggressors, potentially earn yourself that cruise whistle. Here goes the gunfights. Ghosty at least gets info on 2.
Oh, and again, Arseny's with the pick. Another kill onto Dashy. Ghosty's position is known. However, it is Hook who roams through middle, able to find one. Time continues to tick, and now if you're Gorillas, you got to get a move on. The problem being is that Texas are hiding pretty much everywhere, in Cantina, inside a barber shop, waiting to pounce, waiting to strike. One player left is Exceed, and he gets overwhelmed. A great job there from Texas to get the bomb down early. And really, man, just allow for Arseny's that pick to pretty much be nullified. I mean, he finds that, and Texas is like, cool, we're just going to allow for you guys to come to us. Hide in every single crevice that we possibly can here on Mercado.
Yeah, Optics did a great job even after getting first blooded of taking map control. We saw the SMGs put a lot of pressure on towards Hedge, and that's Hook, who actually flanks through the middle of the map, able to find that kill, and then reflanks all the way through Barbershop. So you probably had a couple players from the Gorillas trying to locate where he was, but he was able to get out of dodge, and that eventually leads to Optic Texas getting their first round of the map. Now to the defensive side they go, and Gorillas, it ain't broke, don't fix it, going back over towards the speed bomb.
Shots is going to be prepared for it. Lines up one. The assistance there from Dashy. It is trades that pretty much go back and forth. It was the pistol that did have to get brought out. But now as this round comes to a very fast halt, it is really a decision right now for LAG. Do we want to re-attack toward B, or is that exactly what Texas is thinking? It appears they go for mid, get some information potentially, and Ven to go back toward this B site. We'll see if it works out for them. We'll see if this plant can go down unscathed. And right now for Texas, they've got really nobody over near it. Ghosty could make a bit of a jaunt over soon. And this one just could come down to timing.
Now it's going to be a 2v2 retake. Ghosty and Hook versus Assault and Arcades. Both players from the Gorillas are going to be stacking in towards 10, and both players from Optic Texas are going to regroup and attack from the same angle. As time has started to tick, Ghosty's going to jump on that back ledge, try to play for any information of a couple players playing in towards top 10, but Hook invests that dead silence. It's time to go.
Time to go indeed. Ghosty opens up the door. Assault, very much so, eager to know where Texas are going to try and elect to strike from. Arseny's running the top. Ghosty finds one. Can he find the other? 10 seconds left. Oh, and it's Hook who's able to solidify the other. The new additions to Optic Texas proving their worth in the biggest of situations. A 2v2 that goes their way, and just like that, we're all level at 2 apiece.
And that's where you see the chemistry starting to develop for Optic Texas. Like, Hook does not decide to push through big door until Ghosty puts on pressure from the opposite side of 10. Once he puts on that pressure, you see Arcades get some bad timing. He was going to check that top window. Hook finds the perfect timing to make his way towards 10, puts himself towards the Sept. Ghosty wins his one, and then Hook strikes for the second. With only 10 seconds left, they made that play happen, as Optic Texas able to tie the game up at 2 with some great clutch ability out of Hook, the nuke, in search and destroy again.
Incredible work there from Kyler. 5-2 for him. See if he can make it 6-2. You bet. 3 to start. Rather 3 in terms of the streak. Arcades, who has been so impactful with that snipe, looks to try to get things going again. But Shotzzy on the flank. Gifted 1, gifted 2. That is a quick double with Arcades remaining. And you can wipe him away also. A lovely little 3-piece there for Shotzzy.
And that's just what Shotzzy does. Last time these teams matched up, Exceed made the same exact play and found 3. But Shotzzy knows there's no one covering over towards this B site. When Hook puts on that pressure, he gets the first blood. He gets everything that he needs to allow Shotzzy to work that deep flank. Great trigger discipline to at least count the players. He finds the 2. And then with Arcades with that sniper pistol in hand, you're going to be getting Shotzzy with that Vaznev. That's not going to be easy as Shotzzy finds the final kill. 3 rounds in a row now for Optic Texas.
Dashy, he's having a blast. Oh, gets the hit marker onto Arcades. Arcades, he's able to strike. He also gets a hit marker, but he does put in enough damage there for Joe Deceives to clean it up. What a wild round it has been. And quickly, as the dust has settled and pretty much everybody's reloading their sniper, it is Ghosty now last alive, 1v3. 3 players to take down, a bomb to defuse, and only 35 seconds to do it in. A tall task indeed for the rookie, but we'll see what he's got.
Yeah, there's just no way he should be able to clutch this round. You have Arcades holding down the middle of the map. Exceed and Assault throwing shoulders in towards Cantinas. But that's just a tough pill to swallow right there if you're Optic Texas. You saw the play call. We were going to take control of mid-tunnel. Dashy, you're going to snipe over the head glitch. Dashy with the delusional confidence to just jump out with no cover on his side. Unfortunately, gets that hit marker. And with RCD staying alive, he gets all that info. He's able to line up one onto Shotzzy. He gets some assistance from his teammates to put the pressure on and find the second kill onto Dashy. And then eventually you get that bomb down. Hold it down in the 3v1 and clutch up on the round. LAG 3-3 now.
That's just two unbelievably talented snipers who are like, no, I'm not backing down. I'm backing down in the slightest. Just like that LAG. That'll bring things even. Arseny's once more with the snipe. Texas absolutely know where his positioning is. They take him down, and well, Alec falls by the wayside. Captain out, but what can the rest of LAG do? Assault also will fall. Exceed in the meantime, able to grab that snipe, but 2v4 and a cantina that you're going to have to try and reclaim. Oh, that bullet I thought was close to Shotzzy. Whistles past his ear, but now all you have to do is lie and wait. Allow for Joe to come to you, and this is going to be a round. Optic Texas are about to reclaim the lead, Jay.
Yes, they are, my friend, and that's all out aggression over towards that A bomb. Shotzzy, once he finds that first blood, they played a couple rounds now, so you know what RCD likes to do with that sniper. They get the call to double down, child through tunnel, get that first blood, you get the bomb down, and then with a couple players from the Gorillas trying to take Ghosty off of that site, Shotzzy just prones right in towards tunnel, finds the final 2 kills. And Optic Texas with a flawless attacking round to now put them up 4-3.
It just feels like right there in that last round, I mean, Texas just learning from LAG's tendencies. They're recognizing, hey, Varsity's 6-5. He has been unbelievably dominant with the sniper. He's been in this angle. Just try to play around that. Shotzzy once more, another first blood. That is massive. Meanwhile, though, for LAG, a lot of those arrows initiated over at the barbershop. So Hook also is able to tag them up. So really right now for Texas, a lot of map control that you can gain. You know that they've not really pushed up toward the top side. They've also just made it into Barber. And so we'll see what Texas can do with the information that they have very much so deserved.
Oh, Hook gained a lot of info right there. He gets a couple sound cues that the pressure's definitely still coming in towards Cantinas. Shotzzy said, don't worry, guys. I'm basically going to put my controller down. I believe in you guys to clutch this 3v4. He's not going to go for a flank or anything. So they're just waiting. Hook puts himself in a great position. He's going to be able to challenge Joe Deceives, takes him down. Now it's all left up to RCDs. He gets cut. And Optic Texas now put themselves at point game. Round starts off by Shotzzy being the only player over towards that B site. He takes down Exceed, who was trying to work that late flank like he did the last time that these squads played. Won't you take care of him? Hook already is in Cantinas. He puts on the aggression towards Barber. He finds the kill. Dash is just laughing about it because the game's so easy with 2 of the best SMGs in the game. Now Optic Texas put themselves at game point.
Yeah, he's just enjoying himself from the Batcave over in Frisco, also known as the Hex Quarters, but he's having a blast. 2 and 6. Hey, you know what? No big deal. No big deal. Ghosty's got the plants. Shotzzy and Hook, well, they've got all the kills. 19 combined for these two so far. We'll see if they can only add to that total. Maybe Shotzzy can reach double digits. Dashy also looking to try to get more on the board. Snipes away. ARs abound.
Why?
Pieces Alec, who decides to go for the jump shot. He eventually falls, so into the 3v3 we go. And it's both teams obviously trying to go for that Cantina control. Joe Deceives on the outside. Meanwhile, it's Exceed over the top. Does he decide to go for the chow, or will he make Dashy come to him? He wants the smoke, and he's got it. A quick 1v2 inside of the bottom, and LAG stay alive.
LAG stay alive. If I'm RCD's right there, though. Dashy didn't miss me the first couple of times I jumped up. I probably don't want to jump it in to give up my life for free, but they're able to clutch up on the round with the aggression in towards bottom green. They find the first kill. They win the trade battles. And even in that final couple of moments, they were ready for the team fights to close out the round. So the Gorillas stay alive a little longer. Now down 5-4. And I'm pretty sure the last time these squads played, it was a 6-4 ending in favor of the Gorillas. So we have the opportunity to see that scoreline again, but on the opposite side of Optic to close out here.
See if LAG can force the round 11. All eyes on them. Some massive kills coming in from both Exceed and Joe Deceives, and they're going to need them coming into this round. Assault able to answer for the first. Hook instantly does answer. Rocks that dead silence, and does he decide to chow? We know that he loves it. Aggression does not pay off in that moment, so it's Gorillas with numbers, but Optic Texas are still here. Ghosty eventually falls. Some stuns, some nades land at his feet, and he is made quick work of. And now it is up to Dashy, a 1v3. And now a bomb to defuse.
No dead silences, it just runs out. Though a nice low shoulder if you are Assault. Now you get the info. Every player from the Guerrillas is pre-aiming towards this angle. So Dashy has to try to do something godlike. Has to try to win gunfights all at one moment. He's just gonna fly out, give his life up for free. And the Guerrillas are able to clutch up on the attacking round. They find the first blood onto Shotzzy. They get the trade onto Hook. Then they find that kill onto Ghosty. All out pressure towards Hedge. You get that bomb down. You get the info. You hold strong on your setup to now force a round 11.
Oh boy, we love him. Saw round 11 in the last series. And now we've got ourselves one here. Optic Texas, LAG. An opportunity for Texas to go up 2-0. LAG fighting for every single map, every single series. Means so much to them. Can they walk away with a round 11? That's not the way to start it off. A quick nade comes in from Shotzzy.
That's a big kill to take down Jodeci. You know that he's one of the aggressors for the Guerrillas. So now they back up all the way to their spawn, but Hook with the Semtex over the top is able to take down Exceed. So now it's all left up to the ARs on the side of the Guerrillas in a 4v2 situation. Optic Texas, all you got to do is play trade. Do not budge. You can even give up the damn bomb plant. Can't give up this 4v2.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Assault and Arsenes, you're like, we're instantly in a 4v2. We haven't even seen anybody yet. Arsenes will fall, and now it is up to Assault. 1v4, and everybody's staring at him. It is the nades over the top from Texas that lock things up in OT, and just like that, they escape Mercado now with a 2-0 advantage.
And that's so insane, man, because Shotzzy and Hook, they were putting pressure on the entire map with their SMGs. That time, they don't even need their guns to find the first couple of kills. Kobe over the top towards back green to find the first out of Shotzzy. And then what a beautiful Semtex out of Hook, all the way to back parking lot. You see both of those guys in this search and destroy, like that dynamic duo with the SMGs in hand are just taking over games whenever the hell they want to. 1,400 damage out of Hook, 1,400 damage out of Shotzzy, both in double digits in search and destroy. 7 and 9 non-traded kills. Those guys are just doing it all right now for Optic Texas as they clutch up on the search and destroy and now put themselves up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, man. I mean, Shotzzy puts through 4 first bloods as well. I mean, fantastic stuff. Arsenes did that too. It just, unfortunately for him, didn't equal out to that final round victory. And now, man, I'll tell you what, Hook, we were talking about that KD. Can it get much better? Apparently so. Apparently so. That 2.33 KD is definitely remaining intact, if not seeing a slight improvement moving forward throughout the remainder here of major number 4. But like we said, a huge game for both of these teams in kind of inverse ways. Texas starting things off 2-0, trying to begin major 4 off 4-0. Can LAG spoil the party? It all will begin with an El Asilo controlled dub. When we come back after the break, that's where we're headed.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is brought to you by the new series Citadel, premiering on April 28 only on Prime Video.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Call of Duty League. Optic Texas currently taking on the LA Guerrillas, and right now it is a wonderful look currently for the Texas side as they find themselves up 2-0 with an El Asilo control up next. Possibly the final map of this series. LAG, as we said, trying to stay alive right now at 0-3. A loss here would guarantee that lower bracket moving into Major 4. Meanwhile, for Texas, they're trying to lock up the #1 seed heading into that major. Some players to talk about moving into this next control, though, Jay. Dashy and Arcitys looking at the control numbers so far here in Major 4.
Oh, both of these guys are great in control. We always know Dashy. What was it last year? He was the best control player all throughout Vanguard, and he's not really missing a beat. He's probably, the difference is like from a 1.35 to a 1.17, he's still putting up the numbers. And you see Arcitys on the other side, 1.18 for himself when it comes to this mode so far in this stage. And you're going to need that guy to do that same exact performance, because we know the story when you talk about the Guerrillas when it comes to control. It simply is just in their slang, and going up against the Optic Texas roster, who as of recent have been liking to play a lot of El Asilo. You saw even in that last series where they played up against New York Subliners, they were able to walk away with a 3-1, and I think a lot of that was the pressure of the SMGs. They took over the map again, and I don't know if this is a bold statement or not. I am truly, in my mind, trying to figure out, because I never thought there would be a better SMG duo than the Tiny Terrors. But right now, the way that Shotzzy and Hook are playing, they might be the best in the game.
I mean, it's a conversation to have, but I mean, I tell you what, man, at least based off of recency, based off the way that they're playing right now, it's definitely comparable. I mean, like I said, we'll allow for those conversations to go through as time remains, but there is no doubt Shotzzy and Hook right now together are at a different level. It feels like versus pretty much everybody right now in the CDL. We'll see if they can keep that up moving into this game number 3 and maybe wipe away the Guerrillas in just 3 maps. But into this El Asilo we go, and currently it is Guerrillas on the attacking side, making some solid progress already at that B zone. That's going to be 2 ticks guaranteed, buddy.
Yeah, that's good work already from the Guerrillas. They find their kills at the right time, and now you're able to put Optic in a little bit of a spawn trap, all on the hands of Exceed, who at least cuts down 1, but Dashy's able to find 2, relieve some of that pressure, as Ghosty's just staying alive on the opposing side of the map. So that has allowed his team to get into the trap, but now it turns to Optic. Have to hold down this 8 point for a whole minute and 40 seconds. They have every single angle cut off. They're finding the first initial kills. Now they just have to locate where these last 2 players from the Guerrillas are, as Arcitys is just waiting for his teammates to find a couple so he can put them in that spawn trap.
Yeah, we'll see if they can manage to do so. A nice nade from Exceed. Thankfully for Dashy, he is accompanied by a lovely little trophy. That will definitely make Exceed's life that much more difficult. No longer guaranteed a kill, and does eventually get found out. So Guerrillas working from that top side lane, trying to bring all of those arrows now toward the bottom side into that A zone. Arcitys still alive, so this is going to continue to be a problem here for Texas. So all 3 of these arrows currently for them. Player 1, 3, and 4 definitely to try and stay alive. But as time continues to tick, LAG slowly starting to make their way forward. As we said, Arcitys still in the back. Meanwhile, the other 3 hanging out in the warehouse. It feels like 1 kill is pretty much going to set up either a solid offensive moment from the Guerrillas or a great defensive situation here for Texas. We'll see what goes down.
Yeah, Arcitys is just trying to hit the route to take down Dashy from top radio, and finally he's able to do it with the Baz Dev in hand. So now that's 2 dead, make it 3. The only player up is going to be Ghosty on the opposing side of the map, but his teammates, they're nowhere close. LAG, they're stacking. That's already 2 ticks in.
This looks like this could be it. This could be the moment. Shotzzy, Ghosty, Dashy, everybody combined.
Oh,
and that is all 4 dead. A sliver away was LAG from calling round number 1 and getting the momentum fully at their side. Optic Texas wake up at the perfect time. However, with 25 seconds to go, there is still a chance for LAG. Hook trying to shut down the reinforcements. Players off the spawn. A big gunfight victory there for Jodeceibs. Keeps this push alive. All 4 players on the map right now for Guerrillas as they begin their pursuit once more.
This is their final push, and Jodeceibs starts it off with a great kill onto Hook. Assault finds a second as well, but now it's on Ghosty, a guy who has not yet died on the round. making so many crucial plays for his teammates, but there's 2 players on it. You have to attack this. Assault with the drop shot is able to get that kill. It's still contested though. Hook is here.
Oh, the time's paused. The time is paused. Hook eventually drops, and I believe LAG got it. Oh my word, what a round it was, and how hard you had to work if you were the Gorillas in that moment. Had to do everything. As Arsenes, it was Alec to put in the final kill to solidify it, but boy, would that have been a frustrating way to go out. Obviously, they would have got at least 5 segments out of it, but still, you wanted to see that one come up on the scoreboard if you're LAG, and finally, they were able to get it.
That was just good work from the Gorillas, especially Joe Deceives winning that huge one-on-one versus Hook towards the back end, because at that point, you get a couple players from Optic Texas to now turn off of their setup, choose a different angle, and that little split second is what allows the Gorillas to find all the kills at the right time to eventually stack the point. As they take the first round, now Optic Texas on the attacking side don't have the best start to this round as they go clean for dead, and now they're put over towards that white trap.
This is a good opportunity as well, man, for Gorillas to maybe try to improve a bit when it comes down to the kill department. Try to really make Texas work to get out of their base. Maybe even get somebody in range of a cruise missile. We talk so often about LAG, man, and it feels like a lot of it has come down to their slaying. Now they have a chance to actually put Optic Texas in that spawn trap, as you mentioned, but a bit of a distraction toward the bottom side. Meanwhile, for Texas, they made their way up toward the field, specifically the SMG duo, trying to cause some issues. Shotzzy falls, Hook's still alive, and now Exceed finds himself in a very valuable position, cuts away one, and he's just trying to make sure he's not put in a sandwich. Eventually does get taken down, and now for Texas, they've got a healthy amount of players over at this B zone.
Yeah, with only 30 seconds left, you want to play for that map control. You want to be able to stop the clock, leave one player on towards the point. They're just playing for a couple kills. Assault finds a huge one on to go. See, that was the guy who was stopping that clock, but Shotzzy there for the trade. Still a lot of pressure over towards Phil. Luke hasn't died in quite some time. He's just trying to stay alive for his teammates. Only 15 seconds left. They're able to stop that clock once again. First segment about to be in.
It's a little bit late to hop on the objective, but you could just tell everybody from Texas was holding one of those cuts. They once more hop off of the objective. Shotzzy also does get taken down. Meanwhile, for Ghosty, able to keep that time paused. 9 and some change is all that remains. We'll see if the rookie can manage to stay alive. Waiting for a few teammates to come off. The spawn goes low. Joe Deceives, well, he goes lower. Bottom shelf is Hook. Called to go for the attack. Does he have 2 in him? Does he have 2? No, not going to happen. Shotzzy eventually finds the trade. The SMG duo trying to cause all kinds of havoc. However, they continue to fall off of the point. Still remaining, still hanging on. Texas, one more tick to go before they've got that extra minute added onto the clock.
Yeah, the Gorillas going to decide to just chalk this one up. Going to play that defensive setup over towards B for a minute. It's not Optic able to secure that A point. You have full map control if you are the Gorillas. You have Assault all the way pushed out towards back white. His life is more valuable than a kill, but Hook is able to find that kill. So now you know you have full white control. You can put the pressure off from the front. Shotzzy eventually finds the second, but the Gorillas are able to cut down 2. Get those close spawns over towards back clip. Now with only 40 seconds left, Optic Texas have at least 1 to 2 more good pushes.
Very opportunistic pushes at that. As we said for LAG, walking away with that opening round would be huge confidence for them if they could go up 2-0. And that is wonderful work coming in from both Arsenes and Joe Deceives to find those kills. Just great teamwork all across the board. As now they will send Joe Deceives inside of the warehouse, trying to be annoying, be a thorn in the side. Right now here of Texas, any kill that he finds is a big one. Even pops that silence just to make sure that this round goes their way, and that does not work out well for him. Only 6-13 currently when it comes down to lives. Each one of these means that much more here for Optic. Arsenes holding things down, able to find one, but Texas, these numbers are huge. These kills are massive. Still up and still afloat. Somebody's gonna pause the time, and it's Hook who's able to do it. He drops, it's all on to Dashy.
Dashy's the only player here. Only a minute. Only 1.4 seconds left on the clock. The child's gonna come in from Joe Deceives. Now where's the rest of these players from Optic? You have no idea. He's gonna be sitting towards the back of the box, but you find the kill, and you're able to secure the defensive round. Great job from the Gorillas, having such a great start to this one by finding a majority of those kills, keeping the time at the bare minimum, as they only have to hold that B point for a minute. They trade when they need to now put themselves up 2-0 on the map.
Yeah, big confidence right now if you're LAG. Going up 2-0, as we said, one map away from quickly getting out of this series, but showing us that they've got that fight. Right now up 2-0 here on the El Asilo. And right now leading in slaying is Joe Deceives, 15-11. That's really been the conversation, like we said, around the Gorillas has been just KD. I mean, like I said, we talk so often about how KD oftentimes isn't the story, but in control when really nobody except for one player is above a 1 on the season. Slaying is definitely a conversation that you got to have. And Joe Deceives right now having a solid map despite falling early. We'll see what LAG elects to do. Of course, a few top side of the map spawns as now B becomes their target.
Yeah, B is definitely where they're going to go to. They found a lot of success on their first attacking round by closing out B nice and early. With RCD's finding that kill onto Dashy, Optic might have just made the decision to chalk this one up, or at least send a couple players on a flank to potentially break on in. As Hookah's going to be able to find that first kill through Keg's alley. A couple wall bangs come in, but it sets up Shotzzy to find the second. No players from the Gorillas on the point. Dashy gets his revenge onto Arcades. Now it's all on Assault. The farthest player pushed up for the Gorillas towards B.
Oh, that's a big win. A big win. They're from Adam. Assault also take another one. Great work over at the field. And so he's causing a distraction over at B. Meanwhile, it's his teammates who have paused a bit of that progress, rather that clock, and began their progress at that A zone. So this has just been clinical stuff so far throughout this map, Jay, for LAG. Doing work on both sides of the map as they continue to make Optic Texas's head turn. So down 2-0, and really 2 more ticks to go before this one is done quickly. Let's step aside and see if the comms are sounding in a crucial moment like this with Optic Texas.
Open it dead. Nice.
I'm pinching the deep, right? Deep side white, deep side white. There's a guy or D spawn. Hey, stop burning. I spawned out, I already spawned out.
One more stop it.
Hey, chasing you, dead.
One
got Kegs is off.
Where'd you go?
I don't know, I have no clue, I can't see. Stay in our top catch, I'm in our top catch.
Hold up.
I'm gonna get on our top Kenny.
He's fucking Kegs.
There's two.
He's inner secret. One guy's go back.
Yeah, Secret, close the door. He's front side, Secret, stay down. Secret dead.
Nice. Look at that top window.
I'm looking at our deep pinch right now. I'm gonna get our deep pinch. I'm going back Kenny. Bottom mid, absolute. No, deep Kenny Hill, he pinched us. He's deep Kenny Hill on the ramp. Like by the truck and shit.
Exceeds our bottom mid.
Yeah, 1 2 3. He's on the rock.
I'm gonna spawn out.
He can hit Secret.
One's in our base.
Here they come. Yeah, Assault's in our spawn. He's deep Kenny Hill. Assault's still deep Kenny Hill.
Kenny Hill?
Yeah, he's deep Kenny Hill. Assault last one.
I don't see him.
All
dead. I'm picking up the right.
Looking side white now.
Right.
Looking side white from Kenny.
I'm gonna search top money, dead.
Don't see anything side white.
You can go deep right
again. I'm blue.
Yeah, I have the deep right. You're good.
Looking at top money.
We'll check.
Nice check in there with Texas. 20 seconds to go. We hear the comms coming in from Ghosty and the crew, trying to really weed out every single playmaker on the other side from LAG. Like we said, time continues to become a factor. Optic Texas coming off the spawn, trying to lock things down here on defense. Keep this control of Flo and Dashy, nearly able to find 3, but 2 members still alive from the Gorillas as Shotzzy will spring into action. He's got to do some work. White players off of the point. It's Hook who's able to do it for the first. Here comes LAG. The charge is in. 3 players, making 2 players left alive. Ghosty traded out, and with that, Texas remain afloat. Comms were definitely a big focus toward the end of that game. And my goodness, Jay, they were trying to figure out where the flanks were coming in from Gorillas. This has been a very pesky Gorillas team so far throughout this El Asilo.
Oh, well, trying to figure out and figuring it out is 2 totally different things, because you hear it in the comms. Ghosty's just like, every single time his teammates found a kill, we're still looking for Assault. Assault sitting back Kenny Rock. Pretty sure you gave him a new nickname, the Human Radar. So we got Human Turret, and now we got the Human Radar in Ghosty. And with that, communication eventually leads to a round win. So Optic Texas stay alive a little bit longer on this El Asilo control. Back on the attack they go. You don't want to go a clean forward dead this time around. And this time around, they find the initial 2, already pressure over towards A.
Yeah, instantly pressure felt. Ghosty trying to get involved in the fight. As we said, such a great communicator when it comes down to this team. He's actually been talked about maybe being the IGL for this team. And he says, no big deal, no problem. I'm happy to play my role and allow for my guys around me to slay. However, in a moment like that, you definitely need the slaying. Great work there from Arcades. A prone there for him, ends up securing that gunfight. Shotzzy will give the call out. It's going to be somebody in our base while he also tries to make the exact play on the other side of the map. Annoying as ever, Ant-Man trying to go to work, keep Texas alive. Still yet to get a ton of progress over at this A zone, but just as we say that, clears things out and makes sure that A now is easy pickings for them. 2 out of the 3 ticks there. LAG, maybe one last good look at this before they decide to chalk it up.
Yeah, one last good look, but Optic Texas win a couple gunfights, and now you have to make that decision for yourself. We got to get this one up before it gets out of hand. As Shotzzy is still staying alive. Look at how much ground he's able to cover with his movement. Goes from top party all the way bottom lockers. He's all over the damn map. And LAG have not been able to locate where he is, as Optic Texas currently find themselves on a 6-team spree. They know that all the players from the Gorillas are going to be over towards back cliff, so you can win this next set of gunfights. The round is going to be yours. The Gorillas have to turtle up. You have to iron up.
Yeah, this is a massive, really massive team fight overall. Are Texas going to have to go back to their base, or can LAG maintain things? I mean, if LAG drop right here, this could be game, or this could be round, rather. Shotzzy still alive. He is yet to die. He is yet to drop. Still afloat. Trying to cut away Exceed. Laying down some fire, but as long as he remains right here, it's going to have to force LAG to move on up. Time paused, 1 tick through over at the B zone as LAG begin to make their presence felt. So does Shotzzy. He gets red, and LAG, their defense holds.
That's good work right there from the Gorillas to not panic, to hold down your angles, play nice little corners, and win those crucial gunfights to eliminate these players from your base. So they hold strong on the first defensive setup. Now they have to do it for a minute left in this game to secure the map, as Joe Deceives just putting the pressure on. Finds that kill onto GoC, but the trade is there for Shotzzy. With Exceed in this position, just another layer that Optic now have to worry about.
Oh, that is just a wonderful wall bang coming in from Exceed. He's definitely built up a sweat, so obviously has to jump right in front of the fan. Ghosty trying to stay up, but just wonderful work. You could see it. Observer team highlighting it excellently. LAG from one POV to the other. They are in sync with 30 seconds to go. An opportunity for them to get right back in this series, but oftentimes in control, oftentimes in COD, it just comes down to one play. Can Texas manage to find it off the break? And it's Shotzzy and Hook trying to lead the way. Ghosty, a wonderful turn on. It's Exceed who has to stay alive in the point. He ends up dropping, and watch that zone begin to fly as round 5, here we come.
Optic Texas has played that so beautifully, man. They set up the pressure around field. Shotzzy works up through that deep right side. He knows that at least 2 players from the Gorillas are coming off spawn. The last 2 players were the guys that were decapping that point to not allow that second segment to come in. So all you needed to do if you are Optic Texas, take down those 2 players on the point, and then everybody else watch your angles. They find those initial 2 kills before anyone dropping. Then the last 2 players from the Gorillas, one coming through mid kegs, one going on the deep flank. The guy on the deep flank at least takes down one, but GoC was there for the trade. And then they're only looking for one guy. You get that kill, you stack the point, you secure the round. As Optic Texas are able to now force this round number 5, and they have defense as well. Gorillas have to do that same exact thing they did on the last 2 attacking rounds, and that's just simply try to close out B nice and early.
We'll see if that can be the focus. This time it's LAG who in a clutch moment are able to land some nades over the top. That round 11 on Mercado, it was Optic Texas who saw the more positive end of that. And a frustrating last 2 rounds here if you're LAG. Felt like the game was yours. It felt like you had so many moments to already close this one out, and now you find yourself in a round 5, still on the brink of being pretty much eliminated out of this series. Nice and quick. One player that has made his way past that 50-yard line right now is Arcitys, trying to provide his teammates with all the comms that he can, but Hook, being such a problem inside of mid-warehouse, does eventually drop. So with that, LAG, a bit more map positioning that you can take. And as we said once more, it is Arcitys who is trying to get his team with him.
Yeah, it's only 45 seconds left, and Arcitys finally finds that kill on Tadashi. He's usually the sole man who likes to play that defense over towards B. So now they're able to stop that clock for now, but Shotzzy just working his deep flank as his teammates find 3 in the feed. Now you find the 4th. That's all 4 dead. And with only 30 seconds left, the Gorillas know we can't go B. We got to go over towards A, and Ghosty's here to cut them down.
Oh, and they're starting to run right into the blender. They're running right into the blender. Shotzzy could be behind any corner. Meanwhile, for Ghosty, he could be on any head glitch. Ghosty does eventually drop. Shotzzy, his position is known. For LAG, they're still fighting. They're still making their way to the bottom side of the map, and right now they've got numbers over at the A zone, pausing the time at 20 seconds. Can they get a few more ticks, get another minute added onto the clock so that they can begin to strategize? Shotzzy not able to win it, and from there, Gorillas will close out A and stay alive. Round 5 maybe has only just begun.
Now with the minute 15, you only need 2 segments over towards B to force this game number 4. It's all about finding these kills towards the middle of the map because you don't have white control now. You don't want to waste time wrapping back towards that side. Essentially not winning those gunfights, but yeah, like you said, Exceed working the super deep route. Pops that dead silence to work all the way behind Cliff, and with number 1 and Ghosty getting that spawn, he's going to give that info over to Hook. So Hook is kind of aware that there's potentially a player in the back. Exceed is able to take him down, but the rest of Optic, they're still maintaining map control, still pushed outfield. Only player farthest pushed up is Exceed. So what else can he do from top? Kenny Cliff
trying to beam Ghosty, able to do that. LAG, now I've got someone on the time. Exceed is going to try to cut off this line once more. Just trying to cut off Optic Texas from their spawn. Player 3 can tag him up. Mook is here in a position to drop him. Dashy does the same. It is a wonderful 3-man down position for Texas as LAG began to scramble. One last good push, and here they come.
Last good push. They have to try to overextend through courtyard because RC's been fighting this gunfight with Dashy for a long time, but he's able to win it. So now you do have field control. All you have to do is just win these gunfights towards the middle of the map, but that's gonna be Hook with the SMG. Long distance does not matter. He's able to cut down 2, picks up the AR, finds a 3rd. He knows the final player's pushing up towards field, and with only 5 seconds left, Optic Texas looking like they're gonna 3-0.
Oh, and Hook going out inside.
Oh my!
Puts him in the turn after a 7 spree. Texas absolutely clinical as they walk away with this series in a hot 3-0 and win 3 rounds straight here on El Asilo. Wonderful work all game long from Optic Texas, but how about the style plays from the nuke at the end, Jay?
Man, that is insane work right there from Optic Texas. Down 0-2 on some El Asilo. You have to win an attacking round. You do that. You clutch up on a defensive round. You're able to do that. Then all the way in this round number 5, I felt like LAG, when you got down to the final 30 seconds, if they didn't have at least 1 point captured, they were somehow, some way gonna be able to get it done at least on one of those points to extend that time. But when it was Optic Texas's turn to hold down the defensive setup for about a minute to a minute and 30, I think this is a totally different Optic that I've seen when this team was first formed, man. These guys are playing their lives. They're holding down the power positions. And that is what eventually leads to Optic Texas closing out this control. Dashy stays alive so long in towards white. Shotzzy stays alive so long out towards party. They're just playing their life beautifully ever since this team has gotten a lot more reps in practice, a lot more reps in these matches. And they're just looking in prime form to be a team that could definitely contend for that championship in Major 4, as they're able to walk away with the series in a clean 3-0 in the stage 4-0. Number 1 seed in my mind without question.
Yeah, without a doubt. They look to be in a prime position for that. That's also, like you said, 4-0. That's 12-2 in map count on top of it. So these have been dominant series. If you are a Texas fan, you love to see that. However, that's going to do it for myself and Jay. Optic Texas get it done in 3. However, they had to work for it. Bucket, Desk, take it away, guys.
Yeah, they didn't have to work too long, though. 3 games is all it took for Optic to pick up their 4th win. Now, that game 3, much better than a lot of people expected. I was disappointed, though, that the Gorillas didn't close it out. Are you more impressed that Optic came back or frustrated that Gorillas are still struggling in games like Control?
I think I'm more impressed that Optic came back. The fact that they were down and 2 in control, they're one of the better control teams. But also, like I said before this match started, LAG is known to at least steal one map in every one of their series. In their past 5 series, they've at least stolen one. So for Optic to shut this down in a 3-0 fashion the way that they did, I think it's just a testament to how good this team is.
What did you think about this series, Ant? You kind of predicted the outcome coming into this.
Yeah, I mean, I just think for Optic Texas, you know, it's a better version of the team when they matched up against LAG last time and went to 5 and Optic won. No different here, except they play the same 2 maps, games 2 and 3. Optic edged them out. When you talk about this team, the sub duo has been absolutely incredible. They're frying so hard to the point where it seems like now Dash doesn't even have to get those kills. Like, it feels like Dashy and Ghosty are role players when the subs are doing that. Hook had an incredible series throughout this one. The adjustments that we saw, I think that's the biggest improvement with Optic from their loser bracket run into now is like when they are getting tested at times in these maps, they're making even better adjustments. We saw it in the Search and Destroy, beautiful round 11 play call. We saw it in this control. What was happening to him in the majority of these rounds? Well, Jodeceivs was getting up close and personal bottom pool or in bottom lockers and making plays. Meanwhile, Assault was playing his life, pushing over toward 3-pointer or top party, what have you. They made the adjustments. Shotzzy took his time, got pushed up into their base. When they needed Hook to play his life, he stayed alive in bottom tool. So, like, Optic are on point in every stretch of the imagination.
I think the biggest conversation topic for me right now is, like, obviously Optic Texas, the SMGs specifically have slowly gotten better since the beginning of this season. But I specifically want to hone the conversation in on Hook. I think he has put himself in another level when it comes to this split specifically. Ever since Major 3, I think he's now in the conversation one of the best SMGs in the game. Maybe one of the better players. I mean, the numbers that this guy has been putting up as of recent and consistently, he is disgusting.
We see the balance of Shotzzy and Hook. Hook once again shining in Search and Destroy. Shotzzy shining across this series. A 3-0 is in the books now for Optic Texas with just one more opponent to go before they are officially our #1 team. Let's take a look, though, at our Scuff play of the game. This one belongs to the 2v2 retake here from Optic. Round 4 against the Gorillas. This even things up, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just beautiful, right? Like, you see Hook and Ghosty and the way they converge onto this. Ghosty comes from the alley. He opens the bottom left door as Hook goes around to backdoor and waits until Ghosty gets the information on one guy bottom. As soon as that guy sees Ghosty challenge at all, he is immediately focused on those double doors. And then you know Hook, he's going to go in and chow once he gets that cue from Ghosty. The walking UAV, the comms come in, they converge, they get the kills, they win the round. Now, that might seem very simple, but in those moments, it's hard to calm those things and execute at the right time. That's what Optic did very well.
Optic able to get that round and eventually take Mercado. They sweep this series 3-0, and Shotzzy joins us once again to talk to us about the celebration. Shotzzy, who would you give MVP of the team to today?
Definitely Kyler. You know, that boy was doing his thing. He shot 13 S&D. The guy literally clutched up last round right there. Definitely Kyler for sure.
Shotzzy, sometimes when there's series like this, it's hard to come up with an in-game question because you guys look so good across all 3 game modes. So instead, I want to ask, do you have anything that you do before a game that's kind of a ritual, anything you have to eat on game day to perform well, or do your teammates have any?
I don't. Honestly, like, I kind of just show up, do my thing, just chill, relax. Dan kind of just drinks apple juice or orange juice, something like that. Kyler literally shoots 1,000 bots plus, so.
Oh my God, that's only
yeah, everyone has right. Yeah, exactly. It's insane, but yeah, I don't have anything.
Shotzzy, I want to ask you, so like you and Hook, you guys are the best sub duo in the league right now. I mean, you guys are absolutely frying. The statistics are through the roof. I want to ask you, though, is it unspoken chemistry? Why is it when Hook's on your team, it elevates him and you? What are the tendencies? Is it something you guys talk about? Like, how have you guys gotten to this level?
I think it's just like our pacing matches really, really well. I think, you know, me and Kyler are just insanely aggressive at times, and then there's times where, you know, we're able to slow it down at times, and we have that balance to where either he's doing it or I'm doing it. So, yeah, I mean, me and him, we're crazy right now, so we're just going to hopefully keep it up.
56-26 now is the official record as a duo. That is spanning across 3 different titles. Where do you feel your peak has been with Hook at your side?
This year, man, I feel like genuinely this team is probably one of the most, I don't know, talented teams I've ever been on. We practice every single day, and we're only getting better and better. So definitely say this team for sure.
All right, Shotzzy, we'll let you go. Congratulations, currently in first place here going into Major 4 with a 4-0 record.
Thank you. Later.
That's Shotzzy. Optic Texas looking clean right now, but we still have one more match to go tonight, and this one is going to be a crucial one for the Rocker. Are they going to stay in the top 8? Will they start in the winner's bracket, or is it another top seed pulling off a dub? We'll find out in just a moment. Before we go, reminder, pick up your cards today from Upper Deck, the E-Pack, available right now. All you got to do is scan that QR code.
I need a hook one, man. 1,000 bots when only like 5 of them spawn in a private match in this game is actually insane.
Get them grinders. Get your cards today. And, of course, also pick up your League Pack. And I know you've been rocking yours.
Absolutely. Get your League Pack. Scan that QR code. I scanned it last week. Got mine. I'm ready to go.
Final battle coming up here. Day 1 of qualifier. Week 3. We got Major 4 just a few days away. Will the Rocker be in the winner's bracket? They got to clutch up against Atlanta after this.